Well, we've called today's events on the eve of the Comprehensive Spending Review to get across loud and clear that there is an alternative to the cuts that are being planned. In the photo opportunity, we've been making the point that it's something like £19 billion worth of taxes that the banks are being let off through one particular loophole. And yet this is the sector that has caused so much damage, which the rest of the community is now expected to put up with. And later today we've got our rally in Central Hall, where voices will be heard from right across the community, people who desperately rely on the services, young people, the elderly, all walks of life are represented, and those voices will then be heard across in Westminster itself as we lobby MPs. No coalition MP will be able to hide, because this message that there is an alternative, from today onwards we're going to make sure that comes across loud and clear.
And then you're behind Tony. 19 billion.
NASCWC, the Teachers Union, is down here in London today with members from all over the country to actually protest on the eve of the CSR about the savage cuts proposed by the Government to Public Services. It's important that we have this photo opportunity here in London as a visual representation of just how much money could be saved if there was a proper tax on the banks, and we wouldn't need to be having these cuts into public services that are going to affect the most vulnerable in our society and affect the service provision to users right across the country.
Hello, I'm here representing the Chartered Society of Physiotherapy, and there's a number of our members going to be joining the rally as well and lobbying their MPs. Very concerned about the scale and the speed of the cuts right across the public sector, and there's a lot of talk about the NHS being protected. But because the rate of NHS inflation is so much higher than the overall country inflation, we're already seeing severe cuts in the NHS, and that's going to continue. And that's not just going to affect our members working in the NHS, it's going to affect patient services as well, and we're already seeing that. I think the really sad thing is that there are alternatives to these really savage cuts. You know, tackling tax avoidance and evasion, introducing a bank transaction tax can actually really tackle the issue of the deficit rather than these swingeing public sector cuts.
I'm here to see my MP to tell them about the impact of the cuts on young people in his constituency.
I'm here to tell my MP James Pace in South East Cambridgeshire not to abolish the Agricultural Wages Board and to stop making these horrible cuts which will kill our community stone dead.
I'm here to see my MP to save the connection service.
I'm here to lobby my MP and ask him why he's supporting the new academy programme in Cornwall.
I'm here to see my MP because I'm really annoyed about the possible cuts to the health service.
I'm here to see my MP, which is David Winnick for Walsall North in the West Midlands. It's about the cuts in local government and the privatisation of some of the local government services.
Now, we all know why we're here. Tomorrow is the government's comprehensive spending review, when they're expected to unveil massive cuts across public spending. And today we're here to say loud and clear, not just that these cuts will have a devastating impact, but there is an alternative, a better, fairer way.
At every point in the development of their policies, the government have had choices to make. They deliberately chose to meet
spending cuts and not by tax changes. And that means making Britain a more unequal, more squalid and nastier country as a deliberate policy. Instead, we should back fair taxes, because those who did best from the boom should help pay for the bust that they created.
We've come down today from Lancashire to tell our MP about the horrendous impact that the cuts are having on his constituents in Lancashire.
I'm here to tell my MP, who's the Health Minister, that taking away the cancer guarantee will risk lives.
Okay, I'm here to tell my MP that these cuts are masochistic and they're going to hurt the most vulnerable in society.
I'm here to meet my MP to discuss unnecessary cuts to the insolvency service.
I'm here to ask my MP about the privatisation of the NHS.
I'm here to say save our public services and to save the communities that we live in. Without public services, what have we got? No big society.
I'm here to ask my MP to look into the effects of these cuts, because I've seen what can happen to vulnerable people when public services like health are cut in my area.
I'm here to tell my MP that cuts to public services is going to mean cuts to people's real lives.
I'm here to tell my MP that there's more than the bottom line.